Hello and a very warm welcome back to the channel, and we're edging up towards Christmas now, so I've got a couple of videos coming onto the channel, one this week and one next week after Christmas. A little bit of fantasy triang action. Now before you get too worried, I'm drawing inspiration from this excellent 1963 9th edition catalogue, so I just wonder if I can show you some of the things on offer in this. Now this is before we were all worrying about new mobile phones or next generation games consoles for Christmas. We had different things to look at, and when you saw something like this Crash train set, well, started to get you thinking that it could be something good. So flicking through the catalogue, imagine seeing this. Look, Monster double railway train set. Well, I bet not too many people were lucky enough to get that huge set. RS-47 with not one but two complete trains. A big, look at that track, you've got a siding and a big passing loop, so lots of fun to be had. But this grabbed my attention. Triang Railways joining up with Minnick Motorway. Look at that, a 3F tender Loco there, and quite close to that Jaguar it looks. Smash and dash. You had all this sort of Batman style of putting descriptions onto the illustrations, but you can see that that would have been fun, wouldn't it? Something you could imagine playing with on Christmas Day with family members or other people, and just really racing these things around. Lots of near misses, maybe a few that aren't so near. And then look over here, let's just flick through. This is one of my favorite catalogues. These two items, Snow Rescue Train, very wintry, probably a great thing to think about at Christmas. Operating helicopter really takes off. Or if you thought maybe about cowboys, look at that old time locomotive. But let's keep going because there's even more good stuff to come. Get past Transcon. Look at all this. Imagine adding some of this to your already existing train set, or building a new set, and these big bombs, helicopters, searchlights, all sorts of great operating accessories. So this got me thinking a bit, you know, going back to the 60s and 70s, could Triang have made other imaginary action sets? Well, I got my inspiration from this. I'm just reaching over. Did anyone have any of this stuff when they were younger? Matchbox loop race. Well, I think it's a double loop racing set. Box is a bit damaged. My brother has kindly lent me this just to show you what sort of things were available. I remember being quite envious of this set, but of course I was able to race on it, and great. Just using gravity, no batteries required, and to see your models going around the loop and hopefully finishing first was great fun. Many hours of fun. So what about Triang? Could they do something a little bit more adventurous? Well, let's look at these standard Triang parts I've got in front of me. We've got all sorts of things here. Let's start off with the track. Now, if you haven't watched my channel before, you'll know that I love Super 4 track, and here's a few bits of it. We've got the R480 double straight, a single straight, obviously half of this, and these extra long straights, the R489. Well, I nickel plated loads of these for my main layout, so there were a few rejects, and I have made use of them, and you'll see in a minute. Now over here, we've got a few examples of the excellent little industrial Loco, the R.355. Now they put different letters after the 355 depending on the colour, so we've got 355R, Poly, the red Loco. 355B, that's Nelly. And interestingly, there's another version of this called Connie with a different number. I don't have a Connie here today, that's R355Y, but I've got an R355G, green. No name on this Loco, but £2 and 3 shillings on the price list. So what else is here? We've got a really nice Triang controller with a Super 4 track clip and some sort of piers and buffers and other bits and bobs. Now, why have I assembled this all together? Well, my imaginary set is, yeah, check this out. Something I built earlier on in the program. And I'm going to call it the Triang Extreme Loop because it is a bit extreme. I think you can probably see me in the shadow from the sun there. Sorry about that. Let's just get the tape measure up there. It is at last a bit sunny. 32 inches high, or 800 mil, 810 mil. So it's not quite a meter high, but it's a great big loop. Now, can I persuade a Triang Loco to go round that? Now, there's no cruelty to Locos in this video. You know I wouldn't do that. We will be testing out some of these later, but let's just imagine that Triang had indeed decided to build this action set. Now, we've got two versions of poly here. You might be interested. That's the standard R.355R, but this is a debadged version from the workshop. That's R.355RX. Now, you won't find it in any catalogues because it's imaginary, but we'll be demonstrating these items in a minute. Now, in this video, we're just going to have a short bit of running now, demonstrating the potential of this set. But next week, we'll have a few minutes on the workbench showing you how I managed to put it all together. But anyway, before I demonstrate this, I think I just need to do a little bit of tidying, and then we'll come back and see whether any of these Locos can indeed loop the loop. Okay, so I've tried to use as many standard Triang parts as possible to recreate this imaginary set. And let's start at this end. Got a buffer stop there and a few inclined piers. But I've put my tape measure down, so if we walk the course, so to speak, we can go past the big extreme loop, and then we've got the cool down piece of track here. And if I look at the tape measure, well, nearly 11 feet end to end. So a little bit of room required for this set. But like anything, it's the proof that's required. So we've got a couple of Locos here, and I'm going to put standard poly on first. I just hope you can see standard poly is on. Let's just get to the controller. Yeah, a little bit of backwards and forwards. We've got power, so we need a good run up. Now, can I film this? It's a bit difficult holding the camera in one hand and trying to operate the controller, but let's have a go. So full speed. Oh dear, as you can see, we've definitely got no grip. So let's go back. We'll have one more go, but already I can see the driver and the firemen are a little bit worried. Yeah, nothing happening there. So I guess this is where PolyX comes in. So just need to get the special build onto the track, the PolyX. So let's just see whether we've got a little bit of power here. Just moving, a little bit grungy there. Extra care required. Okay. Let's try PolyX. Let's dial in some power. Oh my goodness, look at that, rocking away. I think we need to reinforce that a bit, but look, she seems to have arrived at the end of the course. So is it possible to reverse this maneuver? Now, it's very difficult to keep the camera on PolyX while she's moving, but we'll have another go. I think I'll focus on the loop. Oh, over again. Let's just get to those buffers if we can. Right, a run up now to return. Oh, you have to forgive my camera work here. It is a bit difficult, but what I will do is I'll see if I can enlist some help and get some other shots of this and add them on to the end of the video. But what's really quite impressive is that Poly-X can handle this loop, and minimal changes have been made. Now, why I said there's two videos is that indeed next time I'm going to just come back and show you what I've done to Poly-X in the workshop and describe how I managed to form these radiuses. But for now, I'm going to leave you with a few more shots of this wonderful imaginary triangle set in action, and I hope you all have a great Christmas, and I'll see you for part 2 of this video after Christmas Day itself. So until then, happy Christmas and goodbye.